Hallo, guten Abend. Ich freue mich, dass wir heute wieder einen Kung Fu Live-Talk machen können. Das mal mit einem ganz persönlichen Freund von mir, ganz wichtige Persönlichkeit in der Kampfkunstszene international, mit dem Alfredo Tucci. Bevor wir aber zu ihm gehen, ich habe ihn bereits da, er ist bereits neben mir im Zoom-Meeting inne. Bevor wir live zu ihm gehen, habe ich aber noch 2-3 Sachen, die ich gerne teilen möchte. Das erste ist, am Samstag haben wir ein Stockseminar. Das kannst du mit deinem Schulleiter abmachen. Wahrscheinlich weißt du die Infos auch schon oder hast die Infos schon bekommen. Mach mit. Das ist die Gelegenheit, wo wir wieder physischen Unterricht haben können. Unter den Bedingungen, die dir der Schulleiter wird mitteilen wird, können wir an unseren Stocktechniken arbeiten, was ich persönlich sehr toll finde. Ich hoffe, du bist mit dabei. Der zweite wichtige Punkt ist, wir werden Tigertechniken, Kampftechniken mit Tigersachen werden wir wirklich machen. Das wird online stattfinden. Ich werde euch das geben. Ich werde das Seminar geben, so wie wir Anwendungen von anderen Techniken auch gemacht haben. Findet also statt. Tigertechniken im Kampf, wie gewohnt, machen wir online via Zoom. Und der letzte Punkt, der vielleicht speziell für die Übungsleiter ist, wir werden die Übungsleiterschulung am Samstagmorgen vor dem Tigerseminar werden wir auch machen. Sie findet also statt. Achte darauf, dass du dir das jetzt schon einträgst und das vormerkst, weil die Zeit geht doch recht rassig. Wenn du Fragen hast heute zu dem Gespräch mit dem Alfredo Tucci, dann ist das der Moment. Schreib das in den Chat rein. Ich habe da Hilfe, wo das im Chat liest und wo du mir dann auch die Fragen kannst mitteilen kannst. So, jetzt ist es soweit. Ich wechsle auch die Sprache. Wir gehen über zum Alfredo Tucci, am Herausgeber vom Budo international, mittlerweile in x Ländern, in x Sprachen, wo das verbreitet wird. Und der Alfredo Tucci ist, ich sehe ihn bereits neben mir, er ist bereit, er wird jetzt gerade euch begrüßen. Wir werden das Ganze in Englisch machen. Ich hoffe, das ist für alle okay. Und ja, ich hoffe, ihr habt auch gute Fragen. So, hello, Tucci, my good friend. I hope you're ready so far. The community is already here, so I like to welcome you, and I'm very happy that you can do this evening.
Thank you, Sifu. Always ready for you. You know that. You are a person that I respect and admire for many years, but mainly you are a good friend. So you have me 100% disposed to whatever you need from me. So I'm glad to be here and speak with you and your people, whatever you want.
Thanks a lot, Alfredo. That's very kind words. I appreciate you as a person, as a friend, and also, as you say already, I know you since many years, and I can say after so many years we have a quite deep relationship with each other. But the first question I like to ask you this evening is how you start with your magazine.
Okay, we need to go very back because I'm an old man. First of all, my family was always involved with books. Okay, my father was selling books all over America when I was a kid and before. And when he passed away, he left my mother alone in front of a distribution company of books. When I became a young Alfredo, I went to the army, and when I came back, I realized that I need to help my mother. So I jumped into the bookshop, we have in Madrid, and I was working there. I make it grow, bookshop. I made a catalog. I sit down, I wrote all the books, and we send this catalog and start working, by mailing, etc. So when that was working already good, we have a distribution company, and that was a disaster. That was terrible. Everything we want from the bookshop goes to the dark hole of the distribution company. So I realized I need to jump into that distribution company. So I jumped there, and what I did is to close the distribution company. The first thing I did. So my mother also, after my father passed away, she married with another gentleman who was a famous actor in Argentina. He was a very spiritual person. He was a yoga teacher, and he create a new publishing company. It was called Eiras, because that was his second name. So Eiras company was working very well with this, these books of esotericism and Arthur Conan Doyle, the story of spiritism, things like that, theosophy, all these things. And when he also passed away because my mother got bad luck with that. Poor her, She not only married two Argentinian, not one, two, but also the second one also passed away. So that publishing company was really stopped. So I decided to close the distribution company, but go ahead with the publishing company. What I'm going to publish it must be something I like. And I realized that there was no publication at all in Spanish language of the father of karate, the father of judo, Bruce Lee, etc. So I decided I tried to contact Japan for that, and America. It was complicated, so I went to the Frankfurt Book Fair. I was 25 years old, I think. So I went to see the Kodansha publishing company, which is the national publishing company of Japan. And I started to talk with them. So I said, look, I'm a karate man, and I realized that Funakoshi was not translated into Spanish language. I want to translate and publish his books. I think it's my duty. So Japanese people was very surprised with my attitude. And finally, they bring me the rights. The funny thing is, like, destiny is behind everything. The same day I got my black belt in karate, I received a letter from Kodansha with the rights, which is it's fantastic. You see, you are touched one way or another. We have a destiny to accomplish. So I start with Funakoshi. I made also Jigoro Kano. Then I made Bruce Lee, and slowly I start to make more and more books. It was a kind of success because you can imagine at the time, we are talking about 1982, 1983. I mean, I know it's pre-history, but it was a big impact in Spain and in South America, because we were selling also in Argentina and Mexico, etc. So it was good for me. And at the same time, one young guy called Jose Maria Fraguas launched a magazine called Sensei. So he came to me trying to sell advertising for my books. And I said, look, I don't know your magazine, but I will be very, very happy to contribute with some of parts of the books I have. And you can publish a little bit of this and that. And in exchange, you just need to mention that we already published that book. So we understand each other. And after 8 numbers of that issue, that magazine collapsed completely, bankrupt. So he came to see me again and said, Alfredo, I see you are a successful man in publishing, and I believe that we can put together a new magazine. So I said to him and to a partner I used to at the time, okay, I will do that, but I don't want to work on it. I have enough work. I want to be, at the time I was painting, because I'm a painter, as you know. So I don't have time for that thing. He bring me the numbers. And I said, look, these numbers are good. Why are you bankrupt? I mean, I don't understand. Anyway, they started. And after 3 numbers of the magazine, I changed the name. It became Black Belt in Spanish, Cinturón Negro. And then when we started, it was a disaster. Terrible disaster. So I was trying to be away of all of that, but the disaster came and knocked in my door. So I need to jump again into the disaster to make the things right. So I came in, I changed everything, this and that. I didn't touch the contents. Okay, I said to Fraguas, you are the director. I don't want to look my face there. I'm not interested in that. So please go ahead with this. But I will manage the economy, distribution, all that things. So, well, finally the magazine started working well because I changed the things here and there, and things start to work well. And after 1 year or 2 years, I don't know why, still today I don't know why, but Fraguas said, I want to be out of the magazine. And I say, it was the time of AIDS. You remember this, SIDA, AIDS. And I said, what happened? You got AIDS or what? You know, I mean, I was surprised because he don't want anything back. He just want to give his share and he want to be out. And well, finally he was out of the company. He left the shares to me. And then I was in a position that I have no way to react because I was looking for a person to do his job, to be the face of the magazine. But everybody I was speaking with was a master of some discipline. So you can't put a director of a magazine that he's from karate, will be talking about karate all the time. And karate is the best and kung fu is a shit. And then it was very hard. And then I decided I need to be the face of the magazine. So again, because I jump into the contents, I changed the contents of the magazine. And these contents was for the first time completely original. Because Fraguas, he used to go to America once a year and he bring photos from Inside Kung Fu and all these magazines. He got an agreement with them and we used that. He just simply translate the things, you know. So we were nothing but a copy. And so I finally have no interest on that. So I did something new, something original. And that was good because being original create the possibility to expand. So actually the first edition we did in other language was Portuguese. And then the second one was French edition, because I have a contact with Thierry Play from the son of Henri Play in France, and then we started with the French edition. Then it was the Italian edition. Then comes the German edition. And then it comes to the English language edition. And this was the beginning. But really, if Fraguas keep going with the magazine, we never expand because we were simply a copy of Inside Kung Fu and Taekwondo Times. I don't know what he was taking from there, you know, because I don't want to be involved. So it's funny because I never want to be involved on this. So no, you're happy because you're doing what you want. Say no, look, I never want to be a director of a magazine. It just simply happened, you know. So I really think it's destiny, you know. And every time I want to jump out of the business during these 32 years, something happened that I can't do it. So now I accept that I need to do my duty in this life. And I need to do my part. I try to do it better and better. And now we have the Japanese language edition. We have the Chinese language edition. We have also now, which is very new, I'm working right now in the number 3 of the Russian language edition, where you were on the cover, on the number 2, with Tucci Ling.
Yes, I know. Thank you, by the way.
No, you deserve that. And you know, it's funny, it's destiny, as I'm telling you. So I was involved because destiny involved me on that. And I accept this duty, and I'm trying to do my best. What can I tell you?
So you already mentioned it. You have some martial art background, right?
Yes, I started judo in 1968. I was 8 years old, and I started judo because I got a heart condition. So instead of coming to manipulate the doctors there, my mom decided the best thing is to do judo, which I'm thankful for that to her. So I started with judo, and then I was very interested on Oriental medicine for many years. So I was studying anthropology and Oriental medicine, and then my teacher was a karate man. So I started karate, Goju-ryu. Then I knew another person who was very enlightened on heterodox master. His name was Jose Luis Paniagua, who made a very creative experience in Madrid called TEAM. It's called Taller Experimental de Artes Marciales, which means Experimental Studio of Martial Arts. Mm-hmm. So he made a kind of interesting experience mixing taekwondo, tai chi, yoga, karate. It was in a sense to trying to go into the roots of martial arts, in the sense that, well, we all have two legs and two arms and one head. So whatever you do kung fu or whatever, you are going to use that tool. And this tool is made by energy, by channels of energy, which is acupuncture. So we study also acupuncture, etc. And at the same time, he was very involved with psychology. We have a lot of psychiatrists and psychologists there too. So he studied a lot about the relation between body, emotion, and mind. So it was a very clever and different approach to martial arts, who gave me a good basis to understand no matter what style I was going to confront in my work in the future with as director of the magazine. So this really opened my mind in many senses and make me look to the things in a different way. So having the background of anthropologist and my background with this experience with Jose Luis Paniagua, I got the chance to look at martial arts and different styles openly, with an open mind and a different look than other people. I never see in terms of judgment, but I was looking what was behind the movement, what was behind the tradition, and with respect to each one. So this really prepared me to do my job as director of the magazine, which was very good. I studied then a little bit of Aikido, a little bit of this and that too. But for something like 5 years, I was teaching to a very small group of people. I never announced that on the magazine because I think my role as director and teacher could be in confrontation. And then I had no time, so I simply stopped. And then when my student asked me, what we do, because we study shiatsu, we study many things. What do we do with you? I say, I don't know about you. I do Alfredo.
Your style.
So the guys were very nice. It was funny. It was a very funny group, directors of movies, intelligent people, actually. Those very different kind of students. They don't want to become Bruce Lee. They want to, just move the energy, feel better, have a good time, and feel emotionally and physically better every 2 or 3 days a week. We used to train. Very bad timing because I think we train at 3 o'clock. What is the time? In Spain we eat at 3 o'clock, so you can imagine. So if you want to go there, you really want to go there because and it was nice. It was a nice experience, but I was very clear for me. It was very clear for me that my way was not to teach martial arts. It was a simple way to train myself and have this group of people that like to train with me. So I never feel like I'm a master on martial arts or whatever. Of course, after they gave me a dan on these and that, you know how things are. But I never pay attention to that. It's not important to me. Actually, I don't think I am. This was good because I was good in martial arts. I was not bad. I mean, I was the first black belt that Jose Luis Paniagua gave after 9 years training. And look, the examination we need to run 13 kilometers, which for me was hard because I'm a smoker, but I did it in a certain, we don't want to break any mark, but you need to do it in a certain, I don't know, it was 1 hour or whatever, I don't know, but I did it. Then you need to fight, of course, some of the best guys there. You need to learn kata from Shotokan, and you need to learn the kata from old taekwondo. So then you need to know Tai Chi Yang style, all the movements, and you need to pass. The examination takes 1 day, full day. I mean, it was really heterodox, but it was hard, you know. And after that, we have a beautiful ceremony with the belt, and you put sake to your teacher. The teacher puts sake to you, so it's the knowledge you give him, the knowledge he gives you. We drink together, and then we hug, and that's it. We became drunk, of course. And Paniagua was very nice to me. It was he passed away already. It was a great enlightenment for my future job as director, and I'm happy because I bring him the occasion to recognize him through the magazine years after. We separate and everything, and I think he was brilliant. I think his knowledge about emotions was really unique on martial arts. I never saw this kind of studies, how to use the ki to break the emotions and the energy here. It was very interesting. He used some exercises using together bioenergy and other things to let you put out the things in the class, to break. So he thinks that when you start a class, you need to go this way, then break here, then a little bit here, you practice technical whatever, and then come to the yin side. So it must be yang, establish, and yin, and then you must end here. So if you start here, you must end here. So your energy must, even at the end you go to yin and you do tai chi or whatever, you need to end upper than you start. You know what I mean? So that was clever. Yes. So I know that you guys in Kung Fu do that sometimes intuitive or by tradition, but he recognized why it works, and he explained in rational terms why, because he was engineer and he was master on chemical or whatever. So he explained that as a doctor, as a scientist. So I think his contribution was clever, was beautiful, and I'm proud to be part of that experience with him. And I'm very thankful to all my master. I'm very thankful to him. I'm very thankful to Miguel Establez, which today still works with me. He translates the magazine to Italian and English.
Oh, okay.
He is now 78, I think. And he was one of the pioneers of karate. And he was my Goryuri teacher. So we're still friends. And I have a great respect to all my masters. And even the most difficult ones, I always say I always was, and I am always grateful. I think the relation with the master must be always that. It must be grateful.
Okay, Alfredo, I think I have a question from the community. Let me ask.
Yvonne wants to ask you, who are the statues and the personalities in the background?
Excuse me, what?
What are the statues and the personalities, the heads in the background?
Okay, well, you know, I'm an artist, so I do clay modeling, okay, and also I'm a painter, okay. So this is clay, is arcilla, okay, it's modeling. So these are the tengus. Tengu is a tradition that probably comes from Mongolia. They call it tengri, and this is we call like fractals of the universe. Okay. So in the tradition I study in the last years, where I became Shidoshi, which is the Shisen people tradition, and I'm a successor of that. They have this tradition of Tengu. Tengu means slaves of dogs of God. Okay, why they say that? Because they are faithful to God. They are eternal fractals of the energy of God. So if God is one and is everything, if you split that in 9 pieces, you got the fractals. Okay, these 9 fractals are the 9 Tengu. Of course, in the tradition, there is a lot of mythology of these fractals that, as always, are just a way to present to people the story of how the fractals relation within each other. Okay, so some of them are. One is the god of war, which is present on your tradition in Chinese. I see a guy with a beard and with a whip.
A halberd, yeah, Guanggong.
Yeah, okay. And it's the same. It's this Senso Tengu. It's the god of war. He's the general. Okay. So let's say that you were born with this central energy in your spirit. You will be touched by these characteristics, which means that if you are positive, you will be a person with courage, you will be a person with strength, and you will have temperance. But if you are negative with the things, you will be dangerous because you became angry very easy, and you will lose patience very quickly, which is the image of Musashi. You know what I mean? Or any general on the movies you see of Japan. You know, it's the typical general. So it's a fractal. So I decided to do forms to these fractals. I can show you one. You want me to show you the image?
Yes, you can show one. Yes, of course.
Okay. I showed you a Senso.
So just to know, he's from Spaniard. Huh? He lived there, so we see now his home and his art.
This is Senso Tengu.
Alfredo, you have to talk something, otherwise the camera do not switch. Say something.
Okay.
Yes, now.
Okay. Okay. And this is what I did for and you see there, this is the declaration that I am the successor of this lineage from Japan. And that is something that someone one day comes and say, you are my heritage, like Tucci did with you.
Yes, right.
So this lady was one of the most important masters, Mikie Togawa. She gave me when she passed away, they opened the names. They read, you can give 10 names. And my name was there.
Oh,
So
okay.
I became a successor. Successor in Japanese language is kokeisha. But in the original language of our tradition, it's said koromi. Koromi means the germinator. Who is the germinator? But me, to the verb me, ma, me, mi, mo, ma, mi, with M is to be, the word to be. But with the E means on the material world. So I am the germinator on the material world. So it's different, like a heritage. You see what I mean?
Yes, yes, yes.
So Koro is the germination, there is the germination, but in the material world. So it's the one who makes things happen or makes the tradition go ahead. But I don't know if I will be able to accomplish that. It's a very heavy weight on my back, on my shoulder. I'm trying to do my best, but very difficult. And you know, became an heritager is always difficult.
Yes, I know that. But let me ask about the magazine. Right now, how big is your magazine comparing to other magazines worldwide? How big is this magazine?
Well, I don't know about others because at the moment I don't think there are many magazines in the world. Actually, when we went to America with the English edition paper, it was the beginning of the disaster for the distribution of paper magazines. It was the collapse. So I used to have a shop where I sell equipment, etc. So I was my first advertiser. So I have also something to test what works or not in terms of readers and sales. So when I realized that the distribution was collapsing and internet was starting, I started for 2 years to do 1 month on the newsstand, 1 month on the internet. And after that time, I saw that the sales, when I have the magazine on internet, was double of the sales when I have the magazine on the newsstands. So even if I was old man that I don't want to change, I realized that I need to change because the figures were clear. We have much more readers being free online than being paid on the newsstands. So I took the decision and I jumped into full editions online, which was a big change, and not everybody understood that at the time. Of course, today they all realize that I did it on time because I was 10 years before all of the rest, you know. So in the meantime, I saw the rest of the magazines collapsing. The big names like Black Belt and other ones, and now they became online because it's the only way that you can work with the distribution. It's impossible. And so the difference is that we are the only one we made a magazine in more than one language. Black Belt was always distributed in USA and only in English. We were the first one to do the same magazine in different languages, and we succeed with that. We are now very close to have 1 million readers, which is amazing. I mean, if you have this in paper, it's completely impossible. Impossible. I mean, not even the Time magazine or whatever you want to mention got the sales, you know. So times are changing, and we change on the right moment. And of course, now with the COVID and all this pandemic and all this shit around the world, again, this gave me the opportunity to realize that I was right when I made the change. Anyway, I was right because it succeed. If not, I was wrong. So there's no other way to look at the things. Before we went a monthly magazine, of course, internet is very hungry, and they need more and more and more. So we passed from 8 pages into 150. Then it comes to 200 pages. Then it comes to 400. Say, okay, I need to do 2 magazines a month because they want more and more. So now we do 2 magazines a month, which is amazing. It means that in the Western language editions, we are producing every 2 days. We are uploading to the net 1 magazine. You can imagine that every second day. So it's crazy. So let's say that Monday I am placing the Spanish edition. Wednesday I'm putting the English edition. Then Friday I putting the German edition. It's crazy. It's amazing. The Russian language now we are doing once a month. Japanese edition we are doing quarterly, a year or something like that. Also like the Chinese, because these Western countries are complicated. They're not so easy. China, you know, with the government control and everything is crazy. It's crazy. And Japan is a very close country. For whatever you want to do in Japan is complicated. But we are there. We are online. The magazines, the good thing is the magazines remain online and free. You can read it. You can even download it for free. You can print it for free at home, and if you want to have it in paper, you can have it free on paper. The quality, I believe, is very nice in terms of photograph and everything. So you can print it on paper and have it on the archive if you want. And of course, we don't need to deliver it to Mexico, to Argentina, to Venezuela, which was crazy work. So now, if everyone, I put the magazine today, Spanish language, a guy in China who speaks Spanish can download it and read it. Or read it and leave it there. And he can go and look for an old article when you were 15 years younger, for example. And when you were writing the first article for us or something, you know. So it's very good. It becomes a great archive of information, which is for free to everyone. They can go to issue.com, which is the largest distributor of magazines in the world, or they can go to our website, which you can go to magazines, and there is all the years that we have published in I don't think they are old, but quite old. At least 7 or 8 years you have of magazines there. You can imagine. You can read 1 month without going out of the bed. You know.
Yes. Yes.
So it's a lot of information, which is good. I think it's good because the people need to have good information. The problem with the internet is that everyone, which is a stupid one, can write a thing. Nobody is selecting what he's putting on his website. He can claim he's the king of the world and he's the son of Bruce Lee or whatever. And people, you know, there are some stupid people, they read that, they believe that. And even a young guy of 9 years old can write about you saying that you are a fake teacher. You, after all these years, you are teaching.
Yes,
and
right.
then a kid can come and... So internet need also some kind of paths of control. This path of control is what we call credibility. So after 33 years with the magazine, we have some credibility on the market. So when we publish something, it has to pass some kind of criteria. It's not for everybody. It's not so easy. It's not so complicated as well. But you need to pass some criteria. It's not like, you know, whatever, anything goes. No. And I think this is good because it gives some credibility to martial arts too. Because there's a lot of bullshit on martial arts, like in everything. In medicine, in law, in everything. So bullshitters all over. But in martial arts, There are probably more, because martial arts are always attracted to people that have a big ego and want to be, oh, I'm the best. Come on, no, you are another one. We all try to be the best. Let's learn from each other. That's it, you know? So to be humble is not one of the easy characteristics of a warrior, you know, because the warrior need to be that. He need to be. He's a man who's going to fight. So he need to be in some sense. He need to have some confidence. So of course, on the first step, when you start, you don't have any confidence. Then you became the king of the mountain. You think you are the best one, and then you start to learn that no, you are not the best one. And when you really learn, you know that you are trying to do your best, but your teachers know more than you. You know. So I think the magazine now it's being a lot of work, but I'm happy. We produce videos. You know that we produce 1 or a maximum 2 videos a month. Even now with the COVID, we are producing videos. The price of the videos now are very cheap because you can download. Also, we have our YouTube channel, which is Budo official. YouTube channel is close to 90,000 subscribers, which is a lot of people that are connected, and it's increasing all the time. And our website also, it's in 9 languages or something. I don't remember now, because also now we have and we have Mandarin. I think we have the other traditional. I don't know. It's too much to me. Yeah. And we have the website. This website also is a lot of movement. It's www.budinternational.com, and we are having around 4,000 visitors, which is a lot of people coming and sniffing around and looking around, buying videos, buying books, and I'm very proud of the work we have done on that. The last edition of the website, it took 2 years to be done. 2 years. Because our website don't use this Google Translator. It is translated. This means that it's huge. It's a big library of megas of information. We are more than 10,000 pages. So it's crazy. Every time that collapses, we are saying we have a copy. You know what I mean? Because it's terrible. It's terrible. But thanks God, it's going well. And people like the work we are doing. People are buying videos. That's what we live for. Also, people put advertising on the magazine. That's what we live for. And this is good because it allows me to pay the translators. It allows me to pay my team, which Javier, Marga, William, all these guys that are with me more than 20 years. And me, of course, and which is the one who, like always, is the one who works for. The boss is the one who works for, but it's going well. It's been very nice. I can tell you about others, but what I see is that today I don't think there is a chance or space for printing magazines anymore. It's going to be online. And they are something like 15 years on retard from what I did. And Karate Bushido only do French, Black Belt only do English. Others are not mentionable. I think Inside Kung Fu Collapse already is closed. Taekwondo Times is closed too, I think. I mean, all the big names already collapsed, It's a shame, but it's a changing of times, If you don't change with the times, you end, and that's it. I'm not attached to my kit, the magazine. So if I'm doing what I need to do, I think it's my duty to do what I do. I am here to serve, not to be the protagonist. I'm here to serve you, to serve Tucci, to serve whatever of these people that are writing on the magazine every month are contacting me to spread your message. So you guys are the protagonist, not me. On the meantime, it must be a face there. I never used to write about martial arts, as you know. I write about the spirituality, consciousness, daily life things, which is something strange for people sometimes. Say, why you write this article for a martial arts magazine? Say, well, I only can write what I'm thinking about. And eventually this helped some people, which is good. And some people come back to me and say, look, this thing you wrote helped me a lot and make me understand things about me or my life or whatever. It's good. I have the pretension, you know what I mean? I just simply write. And other people say, no, but you write very complicated. You speak complicated. So look, I can go down to the stairs. You know, I'm on the top of the stairs. I can bring my hand down and say, okay, you want to come with me to the top? But I can go down to be on your level. So I said to the people, I'm writing for the smart people, to the intelligent people, because they will be the leaders. And they are the leaders of today and will be the leader of tomorrow. So I'm writing for that minds. I am sorry if others can understand. But if you want to contribute, you need to do what you can do. And my contribution is to help the leaders, not to help the basic people. For that, there are other people. You know, they can go to see movies and things like that, you know. I can only do what I can. I don't say what I do is more important.
Alfredo, another question. Do you remember our first meeting and the first thing we did together? So maybe this is also interesting for the people.
When it was?
The first time we meet.
I don't remember. I think when it was in Madrid?
Yes, it was in Madrid.
I don't remember. Sorry, but you know, I became an old man. But you refresh my memory. Tell me how it was.
You have this office in Madrid, and downstairs there was the studio for the filming, and we met there for the first shooting of our DVD. And this was the first meeting. I think I make already a half day, and you was coming late. And so we already make movies, and then we was go to eat together, and then we met first time. I think it was like that.
Let me tell you one thing. You never know, probably. I never came late. I came late on purpose. I never come on time to the shooting because I realized that sometimes being myself there became a disturbance to the people.
I think so. It wasn't mean like bad feelings. I think you was come extra like that. Yes.
So after, when you end your work, you are the protagonist. Then I say, okay, master, come with me. Let's know each other. Let's eat together. We have nothing to disturb now. We can.
Yes, right.
So I usually never go to meet the people before they do the job, because maybe with you was not the case, but some other people, maybe at that time, mainly they think I was like a god or something. You know what I mean? And I was not. I am not. I am a simple guy. You know, but at the time it was a disturbance for them. They want to show that they are good, and then no, you are here. You are good. I already know you are good. You don't need to show me. And sometimes they make during the shooting, they make injuries, which was terrible. So I realized I don't need to be there, because I steal attention, you know, because they want to show. I say, no, my goodness, and then they break the leg of the guy or whatever. No, do your job. I come to make the photos. That is, at the end, when you end everything. So yes. And then we go to it together. and that's the best way. I love you from the first moment.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
How comes?
Yeah, because you're a funny guy. You are very funny. You are direct. You are not a pretension. You don't have this pretension of, some master are, like, no. You were very, very. You like to hear the things, not always talk, which is important. But you were smart because I see you're clever. You look like this way, like this. You're listening, and I like that. I like that. People think. I used to have a master when I study diagnosis on Oriental medicine, and once a student asked him, "Master, how long it takes for you to make a diagnosis?" And he said, "That depends." Okay, depends on what? Depends the space between the door and the chair.
Yeah, experiences a lot.
Yeah.
I think I have another question. Let me listen to Alex.
LZ says, "Buenas tardes. I would like to know more about savate. Is it French karate, kickboxing? If yes, does exist also Peruvian karate?"
Peruvian.
Yes, that's the word.
I don't know a lot about savate. We published some articles and some videos about that. You can go to our website if you want to buy the video. I'll be more than happy. I think we made 3 or 4. I am not very. People think I know about everything. I don't know about everything. It's impossible. It's impossible. But what I can tell you is a style from France. Okay, it comes from the way they fought with the legs mainly. So it's like English use the arms and French use the legs. I don't want to take conclusions from that, but you guys can think what that could mean. I don't know, but it's like that. Savate is the name. Savate. I like it. It's nice. It looks like they work very centrifugal in the movements, like taekwondo. They use arms too, but mainly is that. And the funny thing is that they dress this cycling, this very tight dress, which is funny. And I met some good masters in that, and it's very interesting. But I'm not an expert. As I said, I don't know about everything. It's impossible. It's impossible. There are so many different. You can't imagine how many styles are they. We just published a video about Okichita, which is Canadian Indian martial art. It's
okay, I never heard about that.
No, I met the chief. Is a wonderful gentleman, and he lives on the reservation in Canada. Avinaria introduced me to him, and he made this style, it's Okichita. So they use some weapons that are only from them, and also, of course, they fight with knife and all the things you can imagine from an Indian American. And but they are styles all over the world, They are in Philippines, they are in Japan, they are in Spain, they are in Italy, they are in France, like Savate. The boxing is typical English. We are going to publish next month the second video of Gaucho. You know Gaucho?
No, never heard. What's that?
The Gaucho style of fighting. Because the Gauchos were very, this facon is this.
Okay.
It's a big one. Okay. And this, they used to put this on the behind, and with the poncho on the other hand, they fought. Also, they have these 3 stones together, put together with a piece of leather, and they roll these stones like this. They took from one stone and move it, and they can hunt with that, and they can also fight with that. So it's the weapon of the Indian in Argentina.
Okay.
So there is a style in Argentina that it's the gaucho style, which is amazing. I'm telling you, they are very good. And in the times of tango, it was in Buenos Aires, the people used to fight a lot with the poncho. It was like the helmet. I mean the helmet, no, the shield. Okay.
Yes.
So of course, with that, you protect yourself from the cut, and with the knife you fought, and they became very good with that. Now we are going to publish also in the next, I think this is for April, is the style from South Italy. They use in it's called Cavallerio Militar, the Knights of the Humble, which is a very old secret, which was involved, of course, with everything you can imagine in Italy, okay, on the old times. And these people fight with, when you razor with the thing you use for razor, you used to fight.
Whoa, very dangerous, I think.
They used the stick. They used also the short knife. Everything you can imagine from Italy. And he made a video with this tradition from Italy, and it's going to be a new article. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's about the world is full of styles, and as an anthropologist, I feel like it's very interesting. It's lovely to see, and sometimes we don't know the history behind. For example, in Filipino, this Kali scream and all that things. Yes. We became very famous now in the last 30 years or 40 years, okay? But this all came from Spain. Even the terms they use are Spanish. For example, there's a style called obra mano. Mano is hand in Spanish, okay? Even escriba means esgrima, which is a Spanish word, okay? But they can talk it very well. They use the Tagalog, they use the Filipino language. Now they speak English because USA take away Filipinos from Spain, but they still use Spanish words. And the story behind that was very funny, and we published an article about that. Once in 1950, all the Filipino people was learning the eskrima from the Japanese, because they were conquered by the Japanese. So they realized that the way to fight off the Japanese was the best. Okay, so everybody trained the style of Japan. But once a book of Spanish guys came to Filipino, it was only 80 guys, okay, 80 soldiers, and they fought 300 samurais. They killed them all. So the Filipinos, which are very practical, say, no, look, the Spanish guys are better than Japanese, so we need to learn from them. So they started to learn the eskrima, the Spanish eskrima, which is lost in Spain, actually today. The style they fought, it was learned in Filipino, and that's why all these traditions are Spanish traditions. So there is a battle, it's a historic thing, what I told you. It's not, there's a date when there was the fight and everything, and it's perfectly wrote on the article. I can't remember now, of course. But what I'm telling you is we usually have some patterns and some prejudice on our mind about things. We need to learn more. We need to study more to understand that there's always things behind, It's like in Kung Fu, It's, I know, Shaolin, okay. But what we're talking about Shaolin, before and after Mao Zedong. So we know that many Chinese traditions were lost because the revolution, the Cultural Revolution and everything. So only few lineage, like your lineage, are pure, because the rest already lost. Even the Shaolin Temple, the things they took pieces from here and there and put it together. So, but people think that no, it's pure Shaolin, so it must be, like talking with God, or you became a monk and you are capable of doing whatever impossible. I mean, we need to always study, always learn, and I think the contribution of the magazine is important to that, because it gives the people information, criteria information. And it's good because the people who write on the magazine is people like you, that you know about Kung Fu. It's not other guy that come and say, no, well, Kung Fu, I am the king of the mountain. No, it must be people like you, like Paolo, people trustable like Sapir Tal, with this, I don't know the word, this Tanlang, Southern, I don't know, because there's a lot of styles. Sapir is doing in Israel a new video too of this Tanlang Southern style. And there's a lot of Chinese, Japanese, and European, and all these new things, that MMA, which are mixture, etc., that are interesting, but not the main point for us, because these eclectical things sometimes became just a way to make this, fightings, which became a show, like the UFC, etc. Why you don't write about the UFC? No, we wrote about UFC when it begins, because it was something new for martial arts. But today, if you are interested in UFC, you can go to the TV channel and see it there. So it makes no sense for us to write about that. We are writing about we were publishing good videos of submission or MMA or whatever, but with masters, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the Gracie, Francisco Mansur, who was the right hand of Helio Gracie, Robin Gracie. I mean, we were the first one to publish about UFC in Europe and in the world as a martial arts magazine. And we were criticized by that, by the way. Very, very, this is not martial arts, this is, look, you need to be open-minded. This thing is going to change the way we are presented into society. And we need to understand what's cooking there. If not, we will be pissing out of the water closet. So we can't deny that this is going to happen. We need to understand. Then you choose, you want to be there or not. In my case, that doesn't touch me, I think this is like the sometimes I see some fights, but it's like a circus, like Roman circus. Life is too stressed to think. I prefer to see a nice movie, to read a good book, like the one I'm reading now is the autobiography of Woody Allen.
Oh, okay.
I recommend everybody. It's fantastic. It's a beautiful book. You laugh every second time, and he is a gentleman. He never speaks bad about anyone. And on the opposite, you see the greatness of the people who are really great. When he writes, he never speaks bad about others. He always saying good things, even about Mia Farrow, with all the problem they have in the past. And I like that things better than anything. And I like to do my duty with you guys and do the best, and trying to make the best magazine possible every month, twice a month.
Did you remember your first meeting with my master, with Tucci Ling?
It's when he came to Valencia, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah.
I
remember, because it's very close on the time. My meeting with you, how many years?
I don't remember.
Tucci
Ling, I remember, right?
Yeah.
You remember him?
Because it was only maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Yes, I think.
Yes, I remember. He's a character. I think he enjoyed the time in Valencia. We had a lot of fun. We made that beautiful video, the interview.
Yes. Yes, right.
And I was very happy because it was the first time he said in public that you were his successor. And I was very happy to get that words from his mouth, because he said to you, he said to others, but he never said public. And I was very glad to accomplish this situation. I like him. I think he liked me too, because it was a good time. He ate sardina with chocolate. It was amazing. I never forgot that. I can't imagine if he farts on the plane, what is going to happen.
It was perfect for him. I think he still remember.
Chocolate
I think he still remember you, because sometimes he talking about you and the magazine. He called you the boss. Remember that?
He is so funny, so funny. I like him because he's humble. He's like a kid, even with all his age. He's 70 what, or 80 now?
78. He's 78.
Look at that. He's an example of enjoying life every second. He is a master of manipulation of energies and the situation. He put people together, and he become always the center of everything. But he make you feel nice about it, and not like others, you know. I'm the center, but you are nothing. No, he makes you feel good. I think it's a very unique character, and what can I say? I love him. He got a piece of my heart with him, because mainly he was good for you, and I love you. So
thank you.
I like he takes good care of you, because you took very good care of him too. So yes. You see, love between a student and master is something fantastic. I think sometimes you don't need to make things complicated. I think that probably the Chinese tradition is not so bad in that as the Japanese. Japanese.
I guess so. I think the Japanese way is more difficult. I guess so.
They are not so natural, and there's always this create also tension between master and student. Sometimes they became cruel with the students, unnecessary cruel. Not everyone, but some of them are. I think it's the culture.
I think so. But what do you think about the future? So now you have reached this point with the magazine. You are going back your life, and you see all the steps you talk about this evening, and how you look at the future right now.
Well, I will answer you with a song of the Beatles. TNK. Tomorrow never knows, no? Tomorrow never knows. But in my opinion, the world is going to change a lot in the next months, in the next years. It's changing now. Of course, with the pandemic, the crisis, etc., it's going to change a lot. So martial arts also are involved on this change. Of course, it's going to force everyone to jump into internet, like you are doing now, which is very clever with your projects. And with this situation, we are talking about martial arts on the internet. The world is changing. And I don't know what will be my role there. I think the magazine and the videos we have are something that will remain for many years more, because the system is adapted to today's reality. We have a very large library of more than 1,000 videos. It's a lot of, and contents are always important. How these contents will follow, I don't know. Probably in the future we will have some streaming page or something like you have on the pay-per-view TV. So you pay something a month and you can see all the videos you want on martial arts, things like that. I think the magazine will be there because we need this criteria we were talking about. We need something that gives some embasement to the words and the people that are writing that words. I think there are many masters today until they are not well known, and they need our platform to become well known in other countries. I think that there are masters that are like you today, that they are bringing a lot of information on online, that we can help you to achieve more and more targets. So I think this is what we need to keep doing, our duty. I don't think will be a biggest change on, I don't see that. People are talking about the Instagram and all the things as tools, but these tools are not, are evanescent, you know. It's something that, okay, life, today I want to make pee-pee and I took a photo. I mean, who cares, you know? I mean, okay, if you think life is all about that, okay. But if you are really interested in martial arts, you need to learn deeply. To learn deeply, you need to study, and you need to read, and you need to see videos, and you need to have. All of these are things that will be there for now and for the future. And in 30 or 40 years, a kick will be a kick. And a punch will be a punch, and a throw will be a throw. So no matter if this is going to make an holo drive 3D image or made on a single square screen, I don't care. A kick is a kick. So I think the good teachers of today they have a tool to project their knowledge to the future in a way that no one in the past had. We need to think about that. So whatever you teach today will be available in 100 years through images. This didn't happen to us. Actually, I remember I bought my first video on Aikido, and I pay an incredible amount of money to buy the VHS copy of an old Washiba. And I was like, oh, you know, today you go into YouTube and you have a lot of information, but you need criteria. That's why having a trademark like Budo International behind whatever you publish or you present on video or whatever, it's give you credibility. Credibility is one of the most difficult things today, because the world of internet is like fishing in the sea. You know, the sea is full of fish, yeah, but they are not where you put your hook. Maybe
not all are good.
there is no fish there at all, you know. So you need to have a kind of platform to connect between the fish and the fisherman. And that's what we are here. And I don't believe that Google Driver will help you as well as we can do. Why? Because it's not target predeterminate like the magazine. I mean, if you like football, you are not going to read Budo International magazine.
Yes, right.
International. If you go to Cancun's International, it's because you love martial arts. So the people who go and read the magazine is people that already is interested on martial arts. Maybe not in Kung Fu today, but what about tomorrow? You never know. So I think for the future, we still have things to keep doing. Of course, we need to be always open and ready to see what's cooking new. I don't like what I see, as I told you, like Instagram and all these things. It's more like ego people, young people to do that. I don't think it's going to give you really good information. I think if you want to see, if you want to learn from a video, you need to go to a video that is teaching you a video, your style, step by step, organize, with subtitles, with translation. I mean, this is what you need, and not like now anything goes. Books will become as now more PDF contains. Unfortunately, the books are losing. I am publishing in paper very few ones. It's not a business anymore. It's really more something you like to have, but very few like we like to have books. It's not a business anymore. So books will become more symbolic than anything else, but it's still a good way to have everything organized. Because when you sit to write a book, you sit to organize your mind so that's very good. So when a student comes, they have everything organized, which is very good. It's very difficult to do, but it's very good. I don't think that people value the effort, real effort to do a book. Do a book is a lot of work, more than doing a video. And
yeah, that's true. That's true.
They don't value that, and I think it's a shame. But today, people are in a hurry all the time.
Yes, that's true. Let's come to the last question for this evening. What you have to tell to our community, because now we have certain amount of people who look this. So, what you like to tell them?
Excuse me, I lost a little bit the sound.
Okay, so the last question for this evening is what you like to tell to the community, because now many people watch you, listen to your words. What you like to tell them?
Well, I will tell them, if you are students of seafood somewhere, you're doing the right thing. If you are not, try.
Thanks a lot for the good words.
And if you don't know the magazine, take a look of the magazine. It's good. They said that knowledge don't take from you space, but they take time. So knowledge will take, but this is a time good investment. A good investment of your time. So take your time, read the magazine, read books, read the classics. The classics are important. All the classics. If you are in a Chinese tradition, learn the philosophy of the tradition. You need to have an immersion on the tradition to really understand the Kung Fu. You can't be a Swiss man doing kicks. You need to have an immersion on Chinese tradition. Even if you remain Swiss man, you need to go and take a big breath, and go down to the waters of the Chinese tradition, and let you involve you, touch you, and be part of you. This is the only way to really understand Kung Fu. If you want to keep being the same guy, the same Swiss guy, singing in the mountains, things like that, you will never understand Kung Fu. You can remain being Swiss and doing all your traditions, but you need to deeply understand Chinese philosophy, Yin and Yang, 5 elements, Confucius, Lao Tse. Read Lao Tse. Lao Tse is very important. Confucius is very important. If you don't understand Confucius, you can't understand the relation with the master. You can't understand the Chinese philosophy. And they are one of the big men, like Hermes Trismegisto, like Seneca, like Aristoteles. You are European, so you need to read them too, because we are based on that fantastic people, that unique people that create the way we think, the way we look at life, the way we feel, the way we interpret life. If you don't learn this from these guys, you will never know. So keep going with Martin. He's a great man. He's a great teacher. You guys are doing the right thing. And remember that we are for free. So please enjoy the magazine. It's free.
Alfredo, I'd like to thank you very much for this very good talk this evening. I think we got a lot information, and thanks for the information. Thanks for your time. I hope everybody did enjoy it, and I wish you a nice evening. Thanks a lot, Alfredo. And maybe you have some words to say goodbye.
Yeah, no, I thanks for your time. I hope you enjoyed the talk of this quite old man. And
No.
I will be always at your disposition, my dear friend. And you have all my admiration and respect. So please keep doing the job you're doing. And you have me for whatever you need me for. I'll be here for you.
Thanks a lot. Mit diesen Wörtern würde ich mich gerne verabschieden. Ich danke vielmals fürs Zuschauen. Und vielleicht noch mal schnell so eine Erinnerung. Wir haben am Samstag das Stockseminar. Melde dich an, dass du das bis jetzt noch nicht gemacht hast. Vielen herzlichen Dank und einen wunderschönen Abend. Danke vielmals.
Dankeschön.